Hi guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is the Maruti Grand Vitara with a Toyota engine. Yes, this is the strong hybrid, or in Maruti speak, this is the intelligent hybrid. But before we reach this car, let me show you this awesome car perfume from Involve Your Senses. This is the Involve One Citrus. It's a very fresh smelling perfume. It refreshes your mood as soon as you enter the car and it makes you feel energetic. It's a mix of lemon, lime and orange perfumes. It's just fantastic. Click here on the top right of the screen to get yours with a 10% discount using coupon code FASTBEAM. Anyway, straight to the car. Let's open the engine bay of this vehicle, and there is it. Here it is. Okay, it's off right now. The car is actually on, but it is on battery power. You can see there's a lot of space in the engine, but no engine cover. Cost cutting already started even before I get inside the car. There's some insulation there. Engine is very silent. Washer fluid goes in right there. Let's just shut this. Now this is a Nexa product. That's the reason it has this Nexa sort of color, sort of blue, and also Nexa sort of lights, DRLs. So you get this 3-piece LED DRL lights which look nice and slim, and this is the main light. Okay, it's a projector setup. It is an LED and it is bright enough. I know most people buy this car when it comes to Marutis, but this one is the most expensive Maruti you can buy. Don't even ask the price. It's about 23 lakhs, yes, for this particular top-end strong hybrid model. Any which ways, here you can see there's a camera. Grille looks nice, but you see this is sort of a different treatment. Yeah, this is bronze chrome or something of that sort, which actually is the color treatment of the grille for the strong hybrid variant. And there you can see, okay, ground clearance seems ample enough. Yeah, it is quite a lot. There is the towing hook of the vehicle, and the indicator actually turns here. I mean, it replaces the LED DRL when you turn on the indicators, of course. Now, when you come to the side, you realize that this is a decent length because it is almost 4.4 meters in length. The wheelbase is 2.6 meters, which is 10 mm lesser than the Hyundai Creta, its primary rival in the Indian market. And there are some issues with the car in terms of space, specifically this particular strong hybrid model, but we'll come to that when we come to the rear. Let's look at the tires. Okay, the tire size happens to be 215/60/17s. Alloy wheel design actually looks quite nice. You get this squared wheel arch, which is very similar to what you see in Jeep cars. In fact, this gets the gloss black finishing. There's a camera here that is obviously for the indicator, request sensor here, and roof rails there. There's a shark fin antenna. That is a sunroof. Oh my god, a Maruti car with a sunroof. That's also not one, but two. Well, that's revolutionary. Any which ways, rear disc, you obviously get that as well. And there's so many variants. There are like 15 freaking variants of this car on offer, because it also comes with mild hybrid. It also comes in manual and auto for the mild hybrid. Then it also gets all-wheel drive in that particular engine. Coming to the rear of the car, okay, sort of a continuous light treatment, which looks quite nice. Says Nexa here. Rear wiper and washer should come from, where does the washer come from? Okay, it comes from somewhere here. Okay. Oh my god, where is the washer coming from? Anyways, it is coming from somewhere for sure, the water. And you get a high mounted stop lamp as well. Suzuki logo says Grand Vitara here. There is their Toyota badging. No Toyota badging. Faisal Khan's fingers of truth. Disappointed with the lack of exhaust. But where's the exhaust? Well, there is the exhaust. You know what? The spare wheel is actually placed here below for the strong hybrid variant, because there is no space otherwise. And you can see it is not an alloy. Yeah. So cost cutting has been done. Tire size seems to be the same, 215/60/17s. And you can see the underbody of the vehicle. Anyways, you get rear parking sensors. You get a reverse camera here. These are not all LEDs, okay? That is a halogen reflector. So this is the indicator. This is for the reverse light. You know what? They could have gone all LED to improve the efficiency even further. Lights actually look quite nice. The brake lights look quite impressive. I really like it. And let's do one thing. Let's open the boot before that. It says hybrid here. It says smart hybrid, okay, for the half hybrid. This is the strong hybrid, which just says hybrid. Anyways, let's open the boot of the vehicle. And there is the disappointment. Just 255 liters of boot space. Maruti thinks that they can save the earth by making people drive less, because if you don't have a boot, you can't go further either. Okay, that's a bit of a problem because the battery is actually placed here. So the boot is gone for a complete toss. Not very practical. Thankfully, the like half hybrid or smart hybrid or mini hybrid or micro hybrid variant has more boot space, of course. There's that parcel shelf, and then if you want to increase the boot carrying capacity, you can push the seat forward in 40/60 format as well. Is there a light or something here? there's a hook here, there is a light, and there is a 12-volt charging socket as well, which is kind of nice, which brings me to trying to find the washer and wiper fluid. Should be coming from whatever. It's mysterious right now, so you guys have to find out. Leave it in the comment section below, where do you think it is. This sort of chrome bronze treatment is here to give this a floating roof appearance. And let's get to the rear. Firstly, there's a request sensor here, which is kind of cool, and space at the rear looks quite impressive, but there's a problem, because the batteries are placed somewhere here only. Like, yeah, that's the problem, that under thigh support is bad, headroom is poor, really poor. In fact, door pockets seem similar to what we've seen in other Maruti cars. Decent enough, I would say. Piano black finishing here. That sort of, bronze chrome treatment is here as well. Nice stitching. Leather. Some of the good bits are there. 6 airbags, says airbag here. Lower variants obviously get 2 airbags. And you know what? Legroom and kneeroom is actually good. Not scooped out. Magazine holder here. AC vents. And you've got 2 USB charging sockets. One is a regular, one is a USB-C. And some storage space here. But headroom, oh my god, there is none. My head is touching. If you're tall, this car is not for you. And there's a light placement here, height adjustable seat belts at the front, handle to hold on to. Now the thing is that the seat actually reclines, okay? So you can recline it a bit, and then headroom improves marginally. Your head will still touch if you're tall, as tall as me. Bit of a problem, okay? And under thigh support is not great either. Slight hump, and the cabin is not wide enough for 3 people. So this is for 2 at the front, 2 adults, and 2 children at the rear, because headroom is so bad. I can't believe it. The headroom can be so bad in a car. And here you get a center armrest with twin cup holders. Thing is, you can see, okay, there's this thing, so you can slot it. So under heavy braking now, this armrest doesn't pop out or something of that sort. Everyone gets a proper headrest, which is kind of cool. A proper seat belt as well. Nice stitching there. Isofix child seat mount. So yes, on the safety front, they seem to have paid attention. The dashboard actually looks quite similar to other Maruti cars. Yeah, everything is like parts bin se uthaya, डाल दिया इस गाड़ी में, कुछ अलग नहीं किया. Okay, here you can see it reclines like this if you want to increase the boot carrying capacity. And let's shut the doors. Doors shut with a decent thud. Not bad at all, I kind of like it. You're going to use the wipers, don't worry. I'm still stuck on that. And here, the seats are actually comfortable at the front. Art leather, of course, you get this stitching, perforation and all. Quite comfortable seats, like it. And there you get a proper dead pedal as well. And yeah, this is to open the hood of the vehicle. This is to open the fuel lid. This is for the 360-degree view. This is a headlight leveler. These are controls for the heads-up display. And this is the engine start button, which thankfully is different now. Oh my god, where did you come from? You're so different from what I've seen in Maruti cars. I'll take you home today. Anyways, this is the same as all Maruti cars from 2005. That has not changed. Someone has left their earrings in this car. They don't belong to me. If you want to buy it, you can just, probably send me some money and I will ship them to you. Jokes aside, this will go back with the car. Anyways, let's get inside, which means I have to plug in this beautiful perfume and I'm just going to put it right here. It slots right in place. You know what? It's super easy to regulate. Yeah, so easy to regulate. And the best thing is it does not leak at all. It's just fantastic. I really love it. And I genuinely do love it because it brings in some freshness inside this car. This slides ahead and behind. There's some storage space here, not much. Okay. Glove box is decent size. The missing part of the earring can be seen. So now it's time for us to turn on the car. And there you can see when I turn on the vehicle, it does this full swipe up thingy on the instrument cluster. Shows you the Suzuki logo on the main screen, which is the infotainment screen. The car is on actually. It's taking so long. How long will you take to turn on? Can you please hurry up the process? Isn't the car on? It says ready here. Okay, it's telling me good afternoon. Does this full spin thing and it turns on the audio system on its own. So this 360-degree camera is actually decent enough in terms of quality. I really very much like the quality of this camera. And there you have got multiple views as well. So you can do another spin. But attention to detail is not that great because the car I'm driving is blue colored and this one is white colored for reasons best known to Suzuki. Yeah, this is a 9-inch screen. It's actually quite good. Let's get into reverse right away. So this is the reverse parking camera. Obviously, it gets a 360-degree view. It gets adaptive guidelines and you can change the view for the reverse camera as well, which is kind of nice. You can get a side view, but only the left side view, not the right side view because you've not paid enough money for the right side view, just saying. This is an auto-dimming mirror. There is a sunglass holder here, light placement here on the top. Okay, and this gets connected car tech. And here you get a mirror along with the light, which is nicely done. Same is the case here as well, but you do not get a handle to hold on to here. It says airbag here because obviously 6 airbags. Now I was telling you there are like twin cup holders here. A lot of buttons here. Why? Because this is for seat ventilation and it makes quite a lot of noise, so it's effective as well. This to get into EV mode, which always says not available. Then what is the point of having this button? Drive mode, there are 2 drive modes. It does not get the sport mode, which the all-wheel drive variant gets, wherein it will channel more power to the rear wheels for a sportier drive. This is a gear lever, nice to hold. You get a wireless charging pad right there. And here you get a 12-volt charging socket. Here you get a regular USB, not a USB-C. 5 buttons, but only one works, which is the button for traction control for dummies. This is the climate control air conditioning switch. Actually, it's quite nice. The air conditioning works fantastically well. This for hazard light. This screen is very similar to what you've seen in other Maruti cars, specifically the Brezza as well as the new Baleno. You can just push this right, left very easily. Then you can get to the dashboard, and here a lot of things can be seen. It will show you what's your average speed like. Interesting. It will show you fuel economy data along with what's the distance to empty. There you can browse through a lot of other functions. It gets ambient lighting as well. And here also you get so many things like tire pressure monitor is seen right there. In fact, alerts and all that stuff. It says, yeah, check this out. Where was I? I got lost, unfortunately. So we just get out from this menu right now, getting into the home function and into the dashboard again. Yeah, so basically I was showing you that it actually happens to have an icy road warning as well. Interesting. Then there's this energy flow, which shows you how the energy is being channeled. Okay, how the hybrid system is actually working there. The engine kicked in because I stepped onto the throttle. Tire pressure monitor, then the wireless charger and all that, the usual bits you get. Let's listen to an audio right away. Audio quality is decent. It actually gets Alchemy's sound module. Anyways, the steering wheel has the usual button. This is for the phone call and voice command. This is for audio system and to browse through that screen. This is for cruise control system. And the horn, the usual Maruti horn, which is not that great to be honest. Steering, adjustable both for reach as well as rake, which is kind of nice. And there, this gets a full digital instrument cluster. Yes, the strong hybrid gets it. The mild hybrid actually gets a different cluster, and you can browse through a lot of information. So here you can see it's telling you parking sensors, digital speedometer, and then it's telling you a lot of data in terms of what's your driving time like, what's the time like, what's the date, and then you can go to the audio system. You can get into warnings. Then here you can change a lot of settings as well. I just wish the fonts were better. There's guide me light as well, anti-theft, and the usual bits which you would expect. This is the odometer, which shows you twin trip meters as well, and here it shows you how the hybrid system is actually functioning, which is cool. So let's turn on the car by stepping on the throttle. There, it's turned on, and here it's showing you what's the fuel efficiency like. Not bad, 14.4 kilometers per liter. Fuel economy history, okay, the usual bits which you get in hybrid cars. So that's that. And here it's showing you the power equal charge thingy. On the right, it's showing you the temperature as well as the engine engine temperature along with the fuel meter too. So that's kind of nice. These are the controls for the wipers. Let's use the wipers right away. Yeah, lot of spray. Look at the amount of spray. Wipers work decently well. These are the controls for the headlights. It gets automatic headlights, and now it's the time to use the rear wipers to see how does this exactly work. Okay, there, the spray actually comes from the top. That slot was not seen, so it's very neatly integrated. You can't see it all the time. Rear wipers also work quite well in this car. Very similar dashboard to what we've seen in other Maruti cars, but they've put some soft touch material here. Nice treatment here as well. So all black interior with this sort of chrome thing for the strong hybrid. The other variants have slightly different coloring, of course. And that's not all. Hard plastics are there lower down, of course, which you would expect. But now it gets a sunroof. The problem is they have used this very cheap sun blind here, or rather a cloth. This is like super cheap, man. Okay, it actually brings in light from the top. It also brings in a lot of heat. So they could have spent some money to give a proper nice one. So flimsy. This is also so flimsy. This particular panel completely moves. And that is the sunroof of the vehicle. Panoramic roof. Let's see how much it opens, because it does open bigger in the global SX4 S-Cross model. Oh, it opens the same, actually. It's the same model, because this thing also moves behind and it happens in that as well. So yeah, that's a very big sunroof. That's quite impressive. I like it. Let's do one thing. Let's turn off the car. Before that, let me actually get into drive to show how she always wants to talk to me for no reason. Okay, there we move a bit ahead.
Please fasten your seatbelt.
Oh my god, voice commands and all, huh? Cool stuff there, Maruti. Let's turn off the vehicle, and when I do that, it shows me the driving time and all that information. Let's get outside, and like only unlock and lock on the key. So the key is also very basic in this car. Let's lock the car. There it locks, same sound which comes, the mirrors go inside. When you unlock the car now, only this thing opens, this one does not, but I think that can be changed in the setting as well. And if you keep this button pressed now, nothing's going to happen because the sunroof will remain open and then you have to do it yourself manually. Let's do one thing. Let's start driving this Grand Vitara with a Toyota engine, of course. Alright, we're all set to go, which means turning off the air conditioning, turning on the heads-up display. There it pops out and it has got 3-4 menus inside it. So firstly, it shows you the speedometer, of course. Along with that, it also shows you which gear you are in. It shows you the clock, and then you can browse through this because it shows you, it shows you the clock everywhere. It also shows you what is the fuel efficiency like. So that's kind of cool. Here we are going to shift this particular thing also, and I'm going to get it into the mode where it shows me how the hybrid system is actually working. We get into the dashboard and we get into energy flow here. Okay, handbrake down. I get it into drive, and then I'm going to turn off traction control. There, traction control off. Battery is not charged because it's a very small Chintu battery. It says traction control turned off. It will continue to show me this warning. Why? I want to see the other display. That's very badly done. Anyways, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, and off we go. Hazard light off. Yeah, you can see how the energy flow is happening at the moment. So as soon as the battery charges to 20%, it immediately turns off the car. So basically it goes to battery power again. That's kind of cool. Anyways, let's come to the rightmost lane. I'm quite surprised that the steering is light at lower speeds, but somehow it does way up at higher speeds. So yeah, I think it's a very well calibrated steering wheel, which brings me to the heart of the matter. What is powering this car? It is a 1.5 litre 3-cylinder engine. Yes, it's a 3-cylinder. It works on the Atkinson cycle. What exactly is the Atkinson cycle? It's actually very old technology. It's named after Mr. Atkinson, and it prioritizes efficiency over low speed output. So what happens is low speed performance actually dulls, which is fine. You know why? Because it works fantastically well with cars which have a electric motor. So with hybrids it works fantastically well. That's why Atkinson cycle is back with hybrids, because the electric motor is able to take care of low speed response very well, which you can see. You don't feel that lag here. The thing is, this 1.5 litre engine produces just 92 horsepower and torque output is 122 Newton meters. Meanwhile, the electric motor, which happens to be a Chintu 0.76 kilowatt hour battery pack. Okay, that's the battery pack actually. It's very small. Okay, it's 0.76. That's basically less than 1 kilowatt hour battery pack. Actually 0.75 is like insanely small battery pack in this car. That's the reason it doesn't have much of a pure EV range as such. Okay, the car feels nice when you drive it like this smoothly with part throttle inputs. It just feels at home. This electric motor is able to produce 80 horsepower and 141 Newton meters of torque, but the combined output is not what you think it is. It is actually 116 horsepower. So yeah, it's not very powerful. It is the least powerful car in the segment, and don't even get me started on the K15C motor, which is even worse at 103 horsepower and 137 Newton meters of torque. But responses are actually quite nice, because when you get on the throttle, it picks up pace nicely. There's this linear, smooth and progressive flow of power and torque throughout the rev range, and this electric motor does well to give you a nice boost at lower speeds. The result is that it is not lethargic at all, this strong hybrid. It is quick enough, but it's super efficient. Claimed mileage is 27.97 kilometers per litre, which is absolutely insane. A petrol car producing that kind of fuel efficiency will blow your mind, but you have to pay a lot more money for this particular tech with this strong hybrid, because the regular mild hybrid is much more cost effective firstly, but secondly that engine is not that great. That K15C engine, 1.5 litre 1500cc motor with dual jet, needs to go bye-bye. Enough is enough. It doesn't have the grunt you would expect from a car of this kind. Firstly, this weighs around 85 kgs more compared to that engine because of the weight of the batteries, of course, and this battery actually runs at 177 voltage capacity, which again, the capacity of the battery and the voltage and all that is very similar to the Honda City hybrid, because both of them are strong hybrids at the end of the day. Okay, get onto the throttle. Responses are not very immediate, but then, you know, once it kicks in, it has this nice linear surge of sorts, pulling strongly to the triple digit speeds, but then it starts to become sluggish at those speeds. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour takes 12 seconds, which is faster than the mild hybrid, but it is actually slower than the Creta's diesel, the Creta turbos, and sorry, when I said turbos, I meant the Seltos and Creta turbos. Started to rain all of a sudden. I kind of feel like I'm in the UK now. Anyways, yeah, so this engine becomes very vocal at high speeds. You rev the nuts out and you can hear the vocalness of the engine. Otherwise, it's on the smoother side. It's not very vocal at low speed, especially when it's working on electric, or rather on the battery power. You don't hear a thing as such. We're going to come to a halt. Braking performance is actually fine. Brakes are strong footed. Here I'm going to turn off traction control again. It turns off in a click. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, and off we go. Yeah, traction control automatically turns on at 50 kilometers per hour. Engine is not that quick. It's very slow. It doesn't push you back in the seat. It takes its own sweet time to pick up pace. So this is more geared towards efficiency than anything else. Doesn't really excite you as such. So a little boring, and the K15C engine is even boringer. Oh, that's not even a word. It's even more boring. Okay, I don't know why Maruti is giving us such average engines. Okay, this is from Toyota, but this actually serves the purpose of giving great efficiency, so that's fine. If you're looking for efficiency, this is a fantastic engine. Very nice paired to a eCVT gearbox, obviously a single speed eCVT gearbox, which has a rubber band effect, and then you can feel that it pulls, because I think the gearbox side of the engine is trying to play catch up with it. And then higher end of the rev range, you can hear that vocalness. Doesn't sound sporty and all that stuff. Now you might wonder why the performance is not that great, because we are right now driving in a different mode. So they are actually, yes, they happen to be drive modes, and we are in eco mode. Somehow it feels slightly better in power mode, but since this car is geared towards efficiency, I thought let's launch it in eco mode only. And then I realized that eco mode is horrendous. You better not use it. It's better to pay a little bit more for fuel and at least have a smile on your face and reach to places on time, then to actually run it on eco mode. And then there's a sport mode which is not available in this car. It's there in the all-wheel drive, wherein it's more rear biased power delivery, because that's all-wheel drive. This is of course front-wheel drive, and even with traction control off, it's not going to spin the wheels, not going to do any of that. I kind of feel a bit of the road noise. I can feel a bit of the wind noise. I can feel a bit of the tire noise. So insulation levels can be better for sure. Weight of this car is around 1250 kg, so it's not very heavy, it's not very light, and it doesn't feel heavy at all. It doesn't feel very light either, but Maruti has done a fantastic job in terms of the calibration of the suspension. Okay, it's not overtly soft. Okay, it's not on the stiffer side, so it has a nice balance. So ride is actually quite good. Vertical movements are very much in control. Steering is nice and well weighted at high speeds. Okay, not the most responsive or feedback rich as such, and there is some amount of body roll, but it's quite under control. So it's agile enough. It has a good ride as well. Brakes are decent. The only fly in this ointment is the thing which powers this car. At least in the mild hybrid, I have a reason to complain, but in the strong hybrid, I'm like, okay, fine, I can let it go, because it's about efficiency here, nothing more than that. And in terms of efficiency, it does a fantastic job. It's so efficient. It has a 45-liter fuel tank as well. Okay, and that pure EV mode now is kind of never ever coming, because if I have a hard throttle or like a heavy right foot, I will never get that mode. So that's a little bit of a disappointment as well. I expected slightly more battery power. I don't know why they give such into batteries. The size of my phone battery is bigger than the size of the battery in this car relative to the size of the particular things. Yeah, they could have done with slightly bigger battery, which would have given it a better range. And yeah, that's that. Anyways, changing lanes is not an issue. You feel that body roll. Grip levels could be slightly better as well, not the grippiest as such. And then the horn, yeah, it's kind of weird. It's always been weird actually. Nothing, not a new reason to complain as such. We'll stop in this side lane, hazard lights on, and I'm going to turn off traction control. Here, traction control turns off in a jiffy. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor, and off we go. No wheel spin. So basically the engine only charges this battery, and then when deployment of performance or power happens via the battery, it's more efficient. And then obviously electric is more efficient because instant torque and all that when compared to an ICE engine. So there's a benefit. Okay, yeah, it actually did a good job over those really bad bumps. So kudos to Maruti for actually tuning the suspension of this car very nicely. It obviously runs on Suzuki's Global C platform, which is quite nice. In fact, it's also relatively safe enough, although safety ratings are yet to come, so I'm not going to comment on that right now. However, what I feel is that Maruti kind of misses the boat all the time. First and foremost, Maruti is the oldest car maker in India. It is the oldest car maker in India right now, which is still in production because Hindustan Motors has stopped production. Premier is gone. on as a car company. So right now they are the oldest, so they have a lot of advantages in terms of connections, in terms of market share, network and whatnot. Yet they are the last to bring new tech. They are yet to get an electric car. Tata is doing it, MG is doing it. A lot of car makers are getting into electric. Maruti has not done it. Okay, they are not even offering ADAS tech on their cars, which again is a bit disappointing because others are offering it. And at this price, you definitely expect ADAS, but there is no ADAS in this car. The thing is, ADAS really doesn't work well in India, considering our lanes don't have markings. Why am I talking about loans? Because of the price of this car is very high. Okay, so no proper markings, and then ADAS is just a gimmick as such, not very useful in India. So yeah, that's a smart move by Maruti by not offering ADAS. And secondly, electric is shit. I hate it. So again, I would say smart move by Maruti by not offering electric either. But a diesel is a diesel is a diesel. My t-shirt says that right now. You have seen the thumbnail of this particular video where it says a diesel is a diesel is a diesel. A lack of a diesel is disappointing. More so when you realize that this car costs 1.3 lakhs more than the Creta diesel. Yes, 1.3 lakhs more for what? Okay, bumps. Now I'm flying a bit, but you can hear a bit of the suspension noise. Overall composure is good though. Yeah, so I was telling you that this car costs 1.3 lakhs more than the Creta diesel. In fact, what really blows my mind is that the particular engine here, or the whole hybrid system, comes from Toyota. And Toyota has a better badge, snobbery. Who wants to buy a Maruti car at 23 lakhs? I'm not sure many would. And yet, Maruti actually has priced this car 1 lakh more than the Hyryder. Why and how do they think that they're going to sell this car when they're charging a premium over Toyota for the same car? Kind of weird, doesn't make sense at all, but it is what it is. There are 15 variants on offer, so they have basically 4 trim levels, and then they have 2 engines, and the mild hybrid is available in manual and automatic and all-wheel drive as well, and then there are dual tone paint options as well. So that's the reason there are 15 variants, quite a lot of variants. The price range actually starts quite low at 12.52 lakhs, somewhere around that, 12.5 lakh rupees on road Mumbai. The Creta is also priced similarly, the Hyryder is also priced similarly, give or take 5-10,000 rupees, which is fine for entry level. But do not please get that K15C engine. It is just not having the punch you would expect from an SUV with a ground clearance of 210 mm. Yeah, the ground clearance is decent enough, and the overall ride and handling balance is good, so everything is nice. The only disappointment is that K15C engine. We need a better and more powerful engine. 103 horsepower, you're going to pay 20 lakhs for that? No. Okay, now let's keep the K15C aside, because this is the particular engine to buy, and here's the problem. Why would I pay 1 lakh rupee more to get the particular hybrid powertrain in a Maruti car when the equivalent Toyota is 1 lakh rupee cheaper with a better warranty as well? So that kind of blows my mind. What is happening? That is one of the big hiccups which is going to happen in selling this car, that the K15C engine is not having much grunt, and this is overpriced when compared to the Toyota. But it's a very, very, very nice effort from Maruti Suzuki and Toyota. They have jointly really developed a fantastic car. The only thing is this doesn't have boot space, so there are some compromises which you have to make no matter which variant you opt for. And for me, particularly speaking, the performance is the most important thing. For those who are not looking for performance, the K15C does just fine, like just fine. That 6-speed automatic gearbox isn't that great either, so you get, there's a hit, there's a miss at times, and you have to decide what are you ready to let go. Honestly, I wouldn't let go of performance. For me, that is the most important aspect. But if you're looking for efficiency, this really blows your mind. 27.97 kilometers per liter is obviously in a dream world, but in the real world you will manage to get between 15 to 17 kilometers per liter, which is actually very nice indeed. Now obviously the Creta is more powerful, it's more fun, and a lot of other positive aspects of the Creta when compared to this particular car. But here you have the surety that you will get a service center wherever you go, and then obviously being a Maruti resale would be good, and there are slight positive bits about this car. So as I see it, this Grand Vitara is quite nice. The K15C engine needs to go. Instead, we need to get the 1.4 liter booster jet turbo petrol engine, which by the way is available in the global 3rd generation of the Suzuki SX4 S-Cross, which I happened to drive just last week, and trust me, that engine makes a real difference. If they bring that engine to India now, the sales of their cars will definitely improve, because that engine is unbelievable. You know what? Suzuki, or rather Maruti, has majority market share in the Indian market, yet they don't give priority to us in terms of tech and engine. And in the UK they are like very chintu mintu in terms of market share, yet they're giving such good tech. Like all the cars come with full ADAS systems, and obviously that amazing turbo engine, the booster jet, which is very punchy in terms of performance. but it is what it is. I know Maruti is like cost reasons and all. A car company which is selling so many cars and putting that same engine in a lot of their cars, and that engine is also going in Toyota cars, and so Toyota is also going to put that engine in some of its cars. They can definitely get the benefit of economies of scale and price it slightly better as well. And if not, at least give us an option like Hyundai and Kia do. They will offer you everything. So Creta is available with petrol NA, petrol turbo, diesel, manual, automatic, IMT, CVT, DCT, you name it, everything. They are just not launching CNG yet, but they will do that also. They'll launch hybrid also, they'll launch electric also, they'll launch hydrogen also. So that is why the Koreans are very difficult to beat in this segment, because they're just so aggressive. They let customers decide what they want. They don't put something on the customer like, ye le le tu, yehi hai tere liye sahi. No. Anyways, let's not digress. We have done a lot of it already. Overall driving position is good. You get a good view of what's around as well, and you get a sort of a commanding view of what's around as well. I mean, the driving position is nice, and somehow I feel that this, again, I come to the same thing. The chassis is so good. A little bit more performance would really make it so much more fun to drive. In fact, the price of this particular model will blow your mind. Okay, it's quite a bit actually. That's the reason I'm not even talking about it, because I'm not too sure people are going to spend that much money with a car which has a Maruti logo, because 23.26 lakhs to be precise on road Mumbai, and 21.3 lakhs somewhere around that for the cheapest strong hybrid. And the all-wheel drive actually comes cheaper than the cheapest strong hybrid. So yeah, quite a premium for the strong hybrid. I know it's expensive tech, and batteries are expensive and all that, but remember one thing: once that battery juice goes, like is the case with our smartphones and everything, then performance will also deteriorate over time, and then you will have to replace the battery, which will not come cheap by any means of imagination. And talking about imagination, I also need to tell you this, that this runs a lithium ion battery. Still, the weight has increased by a considerable 85 kgs. I'm not too sure if you can feel the weight or not, but for someone who really doesn't care about performance, it's a fantastic car. The Grand Vitara has actually definitely knocked it out of the park. The only thing is, you need to see if that pricing appeals to you or not. If Toyota had priced the car higher now, this car would have still been okay, fine. But why would I buy the same car with Toyota's engine but having the Maruti logo for a premium of rupees 1 lakh? Simply, I do not understand that. And remember one thing, it's not like I'm biased toward Maruti or Toyota. When I drove the Toyota Urban Cruiser or the Glanza, I have mocked Toyota right, left and center for giving us copy-paste cars for a premium, but then they're saying better warranty, but I didn't really care about that. And the drive mode, we get into sport, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, hazard light off, revving the motor, and off we go. So basically, it doesn't really turn off traction control completely, because I could feel the power being cut abruptly, and then traction control kicks in on its own. So guys, if you liked it, then like karo video. Aadmi mehnat se bana raha hu, kyun nahi like karte? And by the way, if you haven't checked it out yet, you can actually click on the top right of the screen to get this amazing car perfume from Involve Your Senses, the Involve One Citrus. Do not forget to use my coupon code FASTBEAM for a 10% discount. Bye bye.